Hello, everyone. Welcome to an incredible mystery story. Today, I'm going to tell you about Alex, a young inventor who discovers something impossible, a secret that will change everything. This is a story about time, mystery, and the future. A story that will make you wonder, what if you could travel through time? This story was created especially for English learners like you. I will speak slowly and clearly. Every word is simple and easy to understand. You can listen and enjoy the mystery, or you can practice shadowing, repeating the words with me. Remember, you can pause any time. You can repeat any part as many times as you want. This is your practice, your journey through time. Before we begin, please subscribe to this channel. Why? Because it helps me create more stories for you. And you'll never miss a new adventure. So hit that subscribe button right now. Thank you. Now, get comfortable. Close your eyes if you want. And let's travel through time together. Are you ready? Then let's begin. The Secret Door. Chapter 1, The Strange Machine. My name is Alex. I'm 25 years old. I live in a small apartment in the city. I work as an engineer, but my real passion is inventing things. I create machines in my garage, small robots, solar panels, electronic devices. My friends think I'm a little crazy, but I don't care. I love building things. One day, something strange happened. It was a Saturday morning. I received a letter in the mail, an old yellow envelope, with my name written in beautiful handwriting. I opened it carefully. Inside was a short note. "Dear Alex," it said, "your grandfather left something for you. Come to this address tomorrow at noon. Bring this letter. Come alone." It was signed by a lawyer named Mr. Peterson. I was confused. My grandfather had died 5 years ago. Why was I getting this letter now? And what did he leave for me? I looked at the address. It was in the old part of the city, a place I had never been. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about the letter. What could my grandfather have left me? Money? A house? Something else? I remembered my grandfather. His name was Henry. He was a scientist, very smart, but also very mysterious. He always worked in his laboratory. He never told anyone what he was doing. "One day you'll understand," he used to tell me. "One day I'll show you something amazing." But he died before he could show me. Or so I thought. The next day, I went to the address. It was an old building, 3 stories tall, made of red brick. Very old, but still beautiful. I knocked on the door. An old man opened it. He had white hair and glasses. "You must be Alex," he said. "I'm Mr. Peterson. Please, come in." I followed him inside. The building was full of old furniture, old paintings on the walls. Everything smelled like dust and history. We went up the stairs to the 3rd floor. Mr. Peterson took out a key. He opened a door. "This was your grandfather's laboratory," he said. "He rented this space for 40 years. But he made me promise something. I could only show it to you 5 years after his death." "Why 5 years?" I asked. Mr. Peterson shrugged. "I don't know," he said. "Your grandfather was a strange man. but he always paid his rent on time, and he left money to keep this place locked. Until today, he handed me the key. "It's yours now," he said. "Everything inside belongs to you. Good luck, Alex." And he left. I stood alone in front of the door. My heart was beating fast. I put the key in the lock, turned it. The door opened with a creak. I stepped inside. The room was dark. I found a light switch, clicked it on, and I couldn't believe my eyes. The laboratory was huge, much bigger than it looked from outside. There were tables covered with tools, computers, even though they looked very old, blueprints on the walls, mathematical equations everywhere. And in the center of the room was a machine. A strange, beautiful machine. It was about 8 feet tall, made of metal and glass, with lights and wires. It looked like something from a science fiction movie, but also like something very real. I walked closer to it. On the front was a small screen and a note taped to it in my grandfather's handwriting. "Dear Alex," the note said, "if you're reading this, I'm gone. But my greatest invention lives on. This is a time machine. Yes, a real time machine. I spent my whole life building it, but I never had the courage to use it. Now it's yours. Inside the drawer, you'll find instructions. Be careful, Alex. Time is not a toy. But I trust you. You have my mind and my heart. Use it wisely. Love, Grandpa Henry." I read the note 3 times. A time machine? That was impossible. Time travel didn't exist. It was just science fiction. But here it was, right in front of me. I looked around the laboratory. Everything seemed real. The machine looked real. My grandfather was a genius. If anyone could build a time machine, it was him. I opened the drawer. Inside was a thick notebook, full of instructions, diagrams, warnings. I sat down and started reading. It took me 3 hours to read everything. The notebook explained everything: how the machine worked, how to set the date and time, how to activate it, how to return. It was complicated but clear. My grandfather was a good teacher, even in death. At the end of the notebook was one final note. "Remember, Alex," it said, "you can observe the future, but you cannot change the past. What happened, happened. What will happen, will happen. Be wise." I closed the notebook. My hands were shaking. Should I try it? Should I use the time machine? It could be dangerous. It could not work at all. But I was curious. So curious. I wanted to know if it was real. I wanted to see the future. I made a decision. I would try it just once, just to see if it worked. I walked to the machine, followed the instructions. There was a panel with buttons. I had to enter a date. I thought for a moment. Where should I go? Not too far. Just to be safe. I decided 1 week into the future, same place, same time, just to see what happens. I entered the date on the panel. A green light appeared. The machine started humming, a low, steady sound. Then a voice came from a speaker, my grandfather's recorded voice. Destination confirmed, it said, 1 week forward. Please step inside the chamber. The journey will begin in 30 seconds. My heart was racing. This was really happening. I opened the glass door of the chamber, stepped inside. It was small but comfortable, like a phone booth. The door closed automatically. 20 seconds, my grandfather's voice said. I took a deep breath. 10 seconds. My hands were sweating. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beginning time travel. Suddenly, everything went white. Pure, bright white. I felt strange, like I was floating, like I was being pulled apart and put back together. It didn't hurt, but it was the strangest feeling in my life. I heard sounds, voices whispering, music playing backwards, wind rushing past. Then suddenly, everything stopped. The white light faded. I was standing in the chamber. The machine beeped. Arrival complete, my grandfather's voice said. Welcome to your destination. I opened the chamber door, stepped out. I was still in the laboratory. Everything looked the same, but was I really in the future, or did nothing happen? I looked at my phone. The date said 1 week later it worked. The time machine worked. I had just traveled 1 week into the future. I couldn't believe it. I walked around the laboratory. Everything was the same dust, the same papers. Then I noticed something. On the table was a newspaper. I picked it up. The date was today, 1 week in the future. I read the headline. Mystery fire destroys old building. No survivors. My blood went cold. I kept reading. Yesterday evening, a fire destroyed a building on Maple Street. The cause is unknown. 3 people died. I looked at the address. Maple Street. That was this building. This laboratory. I was in danger. Someone was going to die here. Maybe me. I had to do something. I had to change this. But my grandfather's words came back to me. You cannot change the past. What happened, happened. But this was the future. Could I change the future? I had to try. I ran to the time machine, entered the return code. The machine hummed to life again. Returning to origin point, my grandfather's voice said. The white light surrounded me. The strange feeling returned. Then I was back in my present time. I stepped out of the chamber, breathing hard. I looked at my phone. I was back to the original day, the day I first entered the laboratory. But now I knew something terrible. In 1 week, this building would burn and people would die. I had 7 days to stop it. 7 days to change the future. If I could, wow. Alex just traveled through time, and he discovered something terrible is going to happen. Can he change the future, or is the future already decided? What would you do if you had a time machine? Would you travel to the past or the future? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Now let's continue to Chapter 2. Chapter 2. Investigating the Future. I stood in the laboratory, breathing hard. My mind was racing. A fire was going to destroy this building in 1 week. 3 people were going to die. I had to stop it, but how? I didn't even know how the fire started. I needed more information. I walked back to the time machine. I had an idea. Maybe I could go to the future again, but this time, earlier, before the fire happened, to investigate, to find clues. I studied the control panel. According to the instructions, I could set any date and time. I decided to go to the day before the fire, the evening before, to see what happened. I programmed the machine. Destination confirmed, my grandfather's voice said. 6 days forward. 7 p.m. I stepped into the chamber. The white light surrounded me. The strange feeling returned. Then I arrived. I stepped out carefully. The laboratory looked different now. There were new things on the tables, my things. Because in this future, I had been working here for 6 days. I saw my laptop, my jacket on a chair, a coffee cup. It was strange seeing evidence of my future self. I checked my phone. It was 7 p.m., 6 days in my future. According to the newspaper, the fire would happen tomorrow evening. I had about 24 hours in this future to investigate. I left the laboratory quietly, went downstairs. The building was quiet, old and creaky. I walked through the halls, checking each floor. On the second floor, I heard voices, 2 people talking. I moved closer, staying quiet, peeked around a corner. I saw 2 men. They were standing by a door. One was tall with a beard. The other was short and thin. They looked suspicious. "Tomorrow night," the tall man said. "We do it tomorrow night." "Are you sure?" the short man asked. "This is serious." "I'm sure," the tall man said. "The owner wants this building gone. Insurance will pay millions. We just need to make it look like an accident." My heart stopped. Insurance fraud. These men were planning to burn the building for money. "What about the people inside?" the short man asked. "We'll make sure the building is empty," the tall man said. "We're not murderers. Just check every floor before we start the fire." "Okay," the short man said nervously. "Tomorrow night, at midnight." They walked away. I stayed hidden until they were gone. Then I took a deep breath. Now I knew the truth. The fire was intentional. Someone wanted to burn this building for insurance money. But according to the newspaper, 3 people died, which meant something went wrong. The men didn't check carefully enough. Or maybe some people came back. Either way, I had to stop this. I went back to the laboratory, sat down to think. What should I do? I could call the police, but what would I tell them? "Hello, I time traveled to the future and discovered a crime." They would never believe me. I needed proof, evidence. An idea came to me. I could use my phone, record the men talking, get evidence of their plan, then take it back to my present time and give it to the police. But I already heard them talking. They were gone now. Unless I went back in time again, to earlier today, to when they were planning. I could hide and record them. It was risky. What if I ran into my future self? But I had to try. I went back to the time machine, programmed it for earlier the same day. 2 p.m. "Destination confirmed," my grandfather's voice said. The white light surrounded me. I arrived at 2 p.m. on the same day, 6 days in my future. I left the laboratory quietly, went down to the second floor, found a good hiding spot behind some old boxes in the hallway, and I waited. 1 hour passed, 2 hours, 3 hours. My legs were getting tired, but I stayed patient. Then at 6 p.m., I heard footsteps. The two men appeared, the tall one with a beard, the short, thin one. They stopped right near my hiding spot. I took out my phone, started recording video, made sure to keep it hidden. "So it's confirmed?" the short man asked. "Yes," the tall man said. "Mr. Richardson wants this building destroyed. He owns it but can't sell it. Too old, too expensive to repair. But if it burns down, insurance pays $5 million. $5 million, the short man said. And we get 10%. 500,000 each. Exactly, the tall man said. Tomorrow night, midnight, we come in through the back door. Pour gasoline on the first floor. Light it up. Then leave. The old wiring will make it look like an electrical fire. What if someone is inside? The short man asked. We check every floor first, the tall man said. Make sure it's empty. We're not monsters, just businessmen. They laughed. It made me sick, but I kept recording. I had everything I needed. Their faces, their voices, their plan, proof. They walked away. I stopped recording, checked the video. It was clear, perfect evidence. Now I needed to get back to my present time. Give this to the police. Stop the fire before it happened. I went back to the laboratory, used the time machine, returned to my original time. When I arrived, I immediately called the police. "Hello, I need to report a crime," I said. "What kind of crime?" the operator asked. "Arson," I said. "Two men are planning to burn down a building for insurance money." "How do you know this?" the operator asked. "I heard them talking," I said. "I recorded them. I have video evidence." The operator took my information. 20 minutes later, 2 police officers arrived at the building. I showed them the video. They watched it carefully. "This is serious," one officer said. "Where did you record this?" "Here in this building," I said. "On the second floor." "When?" the officer asked. I hesitated. I couldn't tell them the truth. "Earlier today," I lied. "I was working in my laboratory. I heard them talking, so I recorded them." The officers looked at each other. "Do you know who these men are?" one asked. "No," I said, but one of them mentioned a name. "Mr. Richardson. He owns this building." The officers nodded. "We'll investigate," one officer said. "Thank you for reporting this. We'll have officers watching this building. If these men try anything, we'll catch them." I felt relieved. The police were involved now. They would stop the fire, save those 3 lives, change the future. For the next 6 days, police officers watched the building. They investigated Mr. Richardson. They found the 2 men from the video. On the 7th day, the day the fire was supposed to happen, the police arrested all 3 men, Mr. Richardson and his 2 criminals. They were charged with conspiracy to commit arson, fraud, and attempted murder. Because even though they planned to check if the building was empty, the law didn't care. They had planned a fire. That was enough. I watched the news that evening. 3 men arrested in arson plot, the headline said. Police stop building fire before it happens. I smiled. I did it. I changed the future. I saved 3 lives. But then I had a thought, a scary thought. If I changed the future, what happened to the future I visited? Did it still exist, or did it disappear? I went back to the laboratory, looked at the time machine. I had to know. I programmed it for 1 week forward, the same time I went before. When I saw the newspaper about the fire, "Destination confirmed," my grandfather's voice said. I stepped into the chamber, traveled forward, arrived 1 week later, stepped out, looked around. The laboratory was fine. No fire, no damage. I looked for the newspaper, found one on the table, read the headline. 3 men arrested in failed arson plot. Police prevent major fire. The future had changed. I really did it. I changed what was going to happen. My grandfather was wrong. He said you couldn't change what will happen. But I did. I felt proud and excited. If I could change one future, maybe I could change others. Maybe I could help more people, prevent more disasters. The time machine wasn't just a way to observe, it was a way to help, to save lives, to make the world better. I returned to my present time, sat in the laboratory, thinking about what to do next. The time machine was real, and it was powerful, more powerful than I imagined. But it was also dangerous. What if I made a mistake? What if I changed something I shouldn't? I needed to be careful, very careful. But I also needed to use this gift. My grandfather created it for a reason. Now it was my responsibility. I opened his notebook again, read his final words. "Be wise, Alex." I would try. I would be wise. I would use the time machine to help people, to prevent disasters, to make the future better. 1 trip at a time. Amazing! Alex changed the future. He stopped the fire and saved 3 lives. But now he has a big responsibility. He has a time machine. What should he do with it? If you could travel through time, what would you change? Would you go to the past or the future? Tell me in the comments. Let's continue to Chapter 3. Chapter 3. The Second Journey. 3 days passed after I stopped the fire. Life felt normal again. I went to work. I came home. But everything was different. Because I had a secret. A time machine. I thought about it constantly. What should I do next? Should I travel again? Or should I leave the machine alone? It was tempting. So tempting. I could see winning lottery numbers. Make myself rich. I could see future technology. Bring it back. Become famous. But that felt wrong. Selfish. My grandfather built this machine for a better purpose. To help people. Not to get rich. I decided to use it responsibly. One evening, I was watching the news. A story caught my attention. "Local girl missing," the headline said. They showed a picture. A girl, about 8 years old. Brown hair, bright smile. Her name was Emma Collins. She had disappeared 3 days ago. The police were searching everywhere, but no clues, no witnesses, nothing. Her parents were devastated, crying on television. Please, her mother said. If anyone knows anything, please help us. We just want our daughter back. My heart broke watching them. Then I had a thought. What if I could help? What if I used the time machine to find her? I could travel to the day she disappeared. Follow her. See what happened. Find out where she went. Then come back and tell the police. Save her. But was that right? Would I be interfering too much? I thought about it all night. By morning, I made my decision. I had to try. This girl's life was at stake. If I could help, I must help. I went to the laboratory, did research on my laptop, found out the details. Emma Collins disappeared 3 days ago. Tuesday afternoon, she was walking home from school. Normally a 10-minute walk, but she never arrived home. The last person to see her was a teacher at 3:30 p.m., leaving the school. I programmed the time machine Tuesday, 3:30 p.m. 3 days ago, near Emma's school, but there was a problem. The time machine could only travel through time, not through space. It could only arrive in this laboratory. I couldn't appear at the school. I thought about it. Then I had an idea. I would travel to that day and time, then immediately leave the laboratory, drive to the school as fast as possible, try to get there before something happened to Emma. It was risky, but it might work. Destination confirmed, my grandfather's voice said. 3 days back. Tuesday, 3:30 p.m. I stepped into the chamber. The white lights surrounded me. I arrived 3 days in the past, ran out of the laboratory, down the stairs, to my car parked outside, drove as fast as I could to the school. It took 15 minutes. Traffic was bad. When I arrived, school had just finished. Kids were walking home, parents picking up their children. I looked around desperately. Then I saw her, Emma Collins, walking alone down the sidewalk, wearing a blue backpack. She looked so small, so innocent. I followed her on foot, staying far behind, not wanting to scare her. She walked for 5 minutes, then turned onto a quiet street. Fewer people here, fewer cars. I stayed careful, kept watching. Then I saw something. A white van, driving slowly behind Emma, following her. My heart started pounding. This was wrong. Very wrong. The van pulled up next to Emma. The door opened. A man stepped out. He was tall, thin, wearing a baseball cap. "Excuse me," he said to Emma. "I'm looking for a lost puppy." "Have you seen a small brown dog?" Emma stopped, shook her head. "No." "Sorry," she said. "Could you help me look?" the man asked. "My daughter is so sad." The puppy ran into that alley. He pointed to a narrow alley between 2 buildings. Emma looked uncertain. "I have to go home," she said. "It will only take a minute," the man said. "Please, you'd be helping a little girl." Emma was a kind child. I could see her thinking, wanting to help. She started walking toward the alley. "No!" I shouted. I ran forward. The man looked at me, shocked. Emma turned around. "Don't go with him!" I shouted. "Run, Emma, Run home!" Emma looked scared, but she listened. She ran, fast as she could, down the street, away from the man and the van. The man glared at me, then quickly got back in his van. The van sped away. I tried to see the license plate, wrote it down on my phone. Then I ran after Emma. She was far ahead now, running toward her house. I saw her reach her door. Her mother opened it. Emma went inside. Safe. I stopped running, breathing hard. I did it. I saved her. But now what? I had the license plate number. I needed to give it to the police. But how could I explain? "Hello, I time traveled and stopped a kidnapping." No one would believe that. I needed a different plan. I walked to a payphone, called the police station. "I want to report a suspicious vehicle," I said. "Go ahead," the operator said. I gave them the license plate. "This van was following a young girl," I said, "near Riverside Elementary School. A man tried to lure her into an alley. She ran away safely. But you should investigate this man." "Can I have your name?" the operator asked. "I prefer to remain anonymous," I said, and I hung up. I walked back to my car, drove back to the laboratory, used the time machine, returned to my present time. When I arrived back, I immediately turned on the news. I watched for hours. Finally, a breaking story. Police arrest suspect in attempted kidnapping. Acting on an anonymous tip, police investigated a white van. The owner, Marcus Webb, has a criminal history. He was arrested today. Police believe he may be connected to other missing children cases. I felt relief wash over me. Emma was safe, and a dangerous man was in jail. I did the right thing, but I felt exhausted. Time traveling was stressful, emotionally draining. I sat in the laboratory, thinking about what happened. I saved Emma. But what about other children, other people in danger? Could I save them all? Should I? Was it my responsibility? I thought about my grandfather. Why did he build this machine? Why did he never use it? Maybe he was afraid of the responsibility, afraid of making mistakes. I understood that now. The time machine was powerful, but it was also a burden. Every time I used it, I changed something, and changes had consequences. What if I changed something bad into something worse? What if my actions had effects I couldn't predict? I needed to be more careful, more thoughtful. I couldn't just jump through time whenever I wanted. I needed rules, guidelines. I opened my grandfather's notebook, started writing my own notes. Rules for time travel, I wrote. 1. Only use the machine to prevent serious harm. 2. Never use it for personal gain. 3. Always consider the consequences. 4. Keep the machine secret. 5. Be humble. I cannot save everyone. I read the rules several times. They felt right. They would guide me, help me use the machine wisely. I closed the notebook, looked at the time machine. It hummed softly, waiting, always waiting, ready for the next journey. But I would be ready too. Ready to help, ready to be careful, ready to face whatever came next. Because this was my life now. I was a time traveler, a guardian of the future and the past. It was a big responsibility, but I wouldn't run from it. I would face it, one journey at a time, Wow, Alex saved another life. Little Emma is safe now. But Alex is learning that time travel is complicated. Every change has consequences. Would you be able to handle this responsibility? What rules would you make for yourself? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's see what happens next in Chapter 4. Chapter 4. The Warning. 2 weeks passed. I didn't use the time machine at all. I needed a break. Time to think. Time to be normal. I went to work every day, had lunch with friends, watched movies, lived my regular life. But at night, I thought about the machine, about time travel, about my grandfather. Why did he build it? What was his real purpose? One evening, I decided to explore the laboratory more carefully. Maybe there were clues, more notebooks, more information. I searched through drawers, through boxes, through piles of old papers. Then I found something. Hidden under a loose floorboard, a small metal box, locked. I looked for a key, found one taped under a table, opened the box. Inside was another notebook, smaller than the first, with "Private, read carefully" written on the cover. I opened it. My grandfather's handwriting, but different. Messy, rushed, worried. "If you're reading this, you've used the machine," it said. "You've traveled through time. And you've probably felt powerful, like you can fix anything, change anything. Alex and I need to warn you. I lied in my other notebook. I said I never had the courage to use the machine. That wasn't true. I used it many times, and I made terrible mistakes." My hands started shaking. I kept reading. "The first time I traveled, I saved a man's life. He was going to die in a car accident. I warned him. He avoided the accident. I felt like a hero. But 6 months later, that same man, I never predicted that, never imagined it. The second time, I tried to prevent a fire, just like you probably did. I succeeded. The fire never happened, but the building owner couldn't get insurance money. He went bankrupt, lost everything. His family suffered. His daughter couldn't go to college. She fell into depression, all because I changed one small thing. I felt sick reading this." My grandfather continued. "I learned a painful lesson. Time is connected. Everything affects everything else. When you change one event, you create ripples. Ripples that spread through Puntor." I convinced him not to take that flight. He lived. But the plane didn't crash. Because my friend wasn't on it. His seat was taken by someone else. A terrorist sat in his seat instead. Too powerful. So I left it for you. Because you're smarter than me. More careful. But please, Alex, be very, very careful. Every change has consequences. Sometimes good, sometimes terrible. Think before you act. And remember, sometimes the best thing to do is nothing. The notebook ended there. I sat in silence for a long time. My grandfather had used the machine, made mistakes, terrible mistakes, and now I was using it too. I thought about the fire I prevented. Was that a good change, or would it cause problems later? I thought about Emma. I saved her from being kidnapped. That had to be good, right? But what if the kidnapper just took someone else instead? What if my actions didn't really help? I felt confused, scared. Maybe my grandfather was right. Maybe the best thing to do was nothing, just lock the machine away, never use it again. But then I thought about Emma's mother, her tears on television, her desperate plea for help. If I hadn't acted, Emma might be dead now. How could doing nothing be better than that? I didn't know the answer. I stayed in the laboratory all night, thinking, reading and rereading both notebooks, trying to understand. By morning, I made a decision. I would continue using the machine, but more carefully. More carefully, I would only act in clear cases when someone was definitely in danger, when the consequences seemed obvious, and I would accept that I couldn't save everyone. Some things had to happen, even if they were sad, even if they were unfair, because changing them might make things worse. It was a hard truth, but it was true. I went home that morning, took a shower, ate breakfast, tried to feel normal. But I couldn't stop thinking about my grandfather, about his guilt, about the people who died because of his changes. Was I heading down the same path? Would I make terrible mistakes too? I needed to talk to someone, but who? I couldn't tell anyone about the time machine. They would think I was crazy, or worse, they would want to use it. No, this was my burden, mine alone. For the next 3 days, I avoided the laboratory, stayed away from the time machine, tried to live normally. But on the 4th day, something happened. I was at work when my phone rang. Unknown number, I answered. "Hello? Alex?" a woman's voice said. "Yes, who is this?" "My name is Dr. Sarah Chen," she said. "I'm a physicist at the university. I need to speak with you." "About what?" I asked. "About your grandfather," she said. "About Henry and his research." My heart stopped. "How do you know about my grandfather?" I asked. "We worked together," she said, "many years ago, before he disappeared into his private work. Can we meet? It's important." I didn't know what to do. Should I trust her? "Please," she said. "I know about the time machine." I almost dropped my phone. She knew. How did she know? "Where do you want to meet?" I asked quietly. "There's a coffee shop on Main Street," she said, "called the Reading Room. Can you meet me there in 1 hour?" "I'll be there," I said, and hung up. My mind was racing. Someone else knew about the time machine. Was this good or bad? I left work early, drove to the coffee shop, found Dr. Chen sitting in a corner booth. She was in her 60s, grey hair, kind eyes, wearing a professional suit. She looked like a professor. I sat down across from her. "Hello, Alex," she said. "I'm glad you came." "How do you know about the time machine?" I asked immediately. Dr. Chen smiled sadly. "Because I helped your grandfather build it," she said. I stared at her. "You helped build it?" "Yes," she said. "Henry and I were research partners for 10 years. We studied theoretical physics together, time dilation, wormholes, quantum mechanics. We dreamed of building a time machine. Most scientists said it was impossible, but we believed. We worked day and night, and finally, we succeeded. We built the first working prototype. But then something happened. What? I asked. Dr. Chen looked down at her coffee. Your grandfather started using it, she said, without telling me. He traveled through time, made changes, and people got hurt. I found out what he was doing. We had a terrible argument. I told him to destroy the machine. It was too dangerous, but he refused. He said it was his life's work. He couldn't just destroy it. So I left. I haven't spoken to him since. That was 15 years ago. I'm sorry, I said. Dr. Chen looked at me. When Henry died, I thought the machine died with him, she said. But then I heard rumors. Someone was asking questions about time travel. Someone was researching the same things Henry researched. I investigated. And I found you. You're using the machine, aren't you? I didn't answer immediately. Should I trust her? Please be honest, Dr. Chen said. I'm not here to take it away. I just want to help you. The same way I wish I had helped your grandfather. I made a decision. Yes, I said. I'm using it. Dr. Chen nodded. I thought so. Have you read Henry's warning notebook? You know about that, I asked, surprised. I wrote half of it, she said. The warnings about consequences. The examples of things going wrong. Henry and I documented everything. So you know, I said. You know how dangerous this is? Yes, Dr. Chen said. That's why I'm here. To warn you, but also to help you. You see, there's something Henry didn't put in the notebooks. What? I asked. Dr. Chen leaned forward. The machine has a flaw, she said. A serious flaw. What kind of flaw? Every time you travel through time, she said, you create what we call a temporal echo. A copy of yourself in another timeline. I don't understand, I said. Think of it like this, Dr. Chen explained. When you go back in time and change something, you create a new timeline, a new version of reality. But the old timeline doesn't disappear. It continues existing as an alternate reality, and in that old timeline, there's a version of you, living a different life, making different choices. So there are multiple versions of me, I asked. Possibly, Dr. Chen said. We're not entirely sure. Henry and I theorized about this, but we never had proof. Until now. What do you mean? Dr. Chen pulled out her phone, showed me a video. It was security footage from a bank. Dated yesterday. In the video, I saw myself walking into the bank, but I wasn't at any bank yesterday. I was at work all day. That's not me, I said. Exactly, Dr. Chen said. That's a temporal echo. Another version of you. From a timeline you created. He's living his own life. Making his own choices. Existing in parallel to you. I felt dizzy. How many are there? I asked. We don't know, Dr. Chen said. Every time you travel and change something, you might create another one. But here's the problem. These echoes are unstable. What does that mean? It means they're dangerous. Dr. Chen said. They don't belong in this timeline. They're like glitches in reality. And eventually they start to break down. Break down how? I asked nervously. They become violent, Dr. Chen said. Irrational. They know something is wrong with them, that they shouldn't exist, and it drives them insane. Your grandfather created 3 echoes. One of them became a criminal, another one disappeared, and the third one. She stopped. What happened to the third one? I asked. He tried to destroy the time machine, Dr. Chen said. He blamed it for his existence. He broke into Henry's laboratory, set it on fire. Your grandfather barely escaped. That's when he finally stopped using the machine. When he realized what he had created, I felt sick. So every time I travel, I said slowly, I might be creating another version of me. And that version might go crazy. Yes, Dr. Chen said. That's the risk. Why didn't my grandfather warn me about this? I asked. He probably hoped you would never use the machine, Dr. Chen said, or that you would figure it out before it was too late. Is it too late? I asked. Dr. Chen looked at me seriously. How many times have you traveled? I thought about it. 5 times, I said. To the future twice. To the past 3 times. Dr. Chen's face went pale. 5 echoes, she whispered. Possibly 5 versions of you out there. In different timelines. What do I do? I asked desperately. You need to stop traveling, Dr. Chen said. Immediately. No more trips. No more changes. Every journey makes things worse. But what about the echoes I already created? I asked. We need to find them, Dr. Chen said, before they find you. Why would they find me? Because they're drawn to the machine, Dr. Chen said. It's part of them. Part of their existence. They can sense it. And eventually they'll come looking for it. Looking for you? I felt fear grip my heart. When? I asked. Could be days, Dr. Chen said. Could be weeks. We don't know for sure, but we need to be ready. She stood up. I'm going to help you, she said. We'll monitor the city. Look for signs of temporal echoes. And we'll protect the laboratory. Make sure no one can get to the machine. Thank you, I said. But I didn't feel thankful. I felt terrified. I had made a terrible mistake. By trying to help people, I had created monsters. Versions of myself that shouldn't exist. And now they were out there. Somewhere. Waiting. Coming for me. This is getting intense. Alex learned the truth about temporal echoes. Every time he traveled, he might have created another version of himself. And these versions can become dangerous. Would you still use a time machine if you knew this? What would you do in Alex's situation? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's continue to Chapter 5 to see what happens next. Chapter 5. The First Echo. Dr. Chen and I spent the next week preparing. We installed security cameras around the laboratory, set up alarms on all the doors. Dr. Chen brought equipment from the university, sensors that could detect temporal anomalies. If an echo comes near, she explained, these sensors will alert us. They detect distortions in time, things that don't belong. We took turns watching the laboratory, day and night, waiting for something to happen. I couldn't sleep, couldn't eat properly. Every shadow looked like an echo. Every stranger on the street might be me, another version of me. It was terrifying. On the 8th day, the sensors went off. It was 2 a.m. I was sleeping on a couch in the laboratory. Dr. Chen was monitoring the equipment. "Alex, wake up!" she shouted. I jumped up. "What's happening?" "Temporal distortion," she said. 2 blocks away. "Something is coming." "How long do we have?" I asked. "Minutes," she said. "Maybe less?" I looked at the time machine. Should we hide it? Destroy it? "No time," Dr. Chen said, reading my thoughts. "We need to be ready to defend it." She pulled out a strange device. It looked like a gun, but with wires and lights. "What is that?" I asked. "Temporal disruptor," she said. "I built it after Henry's incident. It can destabilize a temporal echo, send it back to its own timeline." "Does it work?" I asked. "I hope so," she said. "I've never tested it." That wasn't reassuring. We heard footsteps on the stairs. Slow, heavy footsteps. Someone was coming. The laboratory door was locked, but we heard the lock clicking, opening by itself. The door swung open, and there I was, standing in the doorway. But it wasn't me. It was me, but different. He looked older, tired. His clothes were dirty and torn. His eyes were wild, unfocused. "Hello, Alex," the echo said. His voice was mine, but wrong, rough and bitter. "Who are you?" I asked, even though I knew. "I'm you," he said, "or I was you. Before you abandoned me." "I didn't abandon anyone," I said. "Yes, you did," the echo said angrily. "You created me. You went back in time. You changed something. And I was born a copy of you in a broken timeline. A timeline that's falling apart." "I'm sorry," I said. "I didn't know." "Of course you didn't know," the echo shouted. "You didn't think. You just used the machine. Played with time like it was a toy. And now I'm paying the price." He stepped into the laboratory. Dr. Chen raised the temporal disruptor. "Stop right there," she said. The echo looked at her. "Dr. Chen," he said, "I remember you. From my timeline. You helped Grandfather. Then you left. I'm going to give you one chance," Dr. Chen said. "Leave now. Go back to your timeline and never come back." The echo laughed, a horrible, broken laugh. "My timeline is dying," he said. "It's collapsing. Because it shouldn't exist. Because Alex changed things. Soon, everything I know will be gone. Everyone I love will disappear. Unless I fix this." "How?" I asked. "By destroying the machine," the echo said. "If the machine never existed, none of this would have happened. No echoes, no broken timelines, just one reality, the way it should be." He started walking toward the time machine. Dr. Chen fired the disruptor. A blue beam of light shot out, hit the echo in the chest. He screamed. His body started flickering like a bad television signal. "Stop!" he shouted. "You're killing me!" "Sending you home," Dr. Chen said. But something was wrong. The echo wasn't disappearing. He was getting stronger. "Your device doesn't work on me," he said. "I've been here too long. I'm part of this timeline now." He grabbed the disruptor from Dr. Chen, threw it across the room. Then he pushed her aside. She fell hard, hit her head on a table. "Dr. Chen!" I shouted. I ran to help her. She was unconscious, blood on her forehead. The echo walked to the time machine, pulled out a metal pipe he had hidden in his jacket. "I'm sorry, Alex," he said, "but this ends now." He raised the pipe, ready to smash the machine. "Wait!" I shouted. "If you destroy the machine, you'll destroy everything." "That's the point," the echoes said. "No machine, no time travel, no echoes." "But you'll kill Dr. Chen," I said. "You'll kill yourself." "I'm already dead," the echoes said. "My world is ending. I have nothing left." I had to think fast. "What if there's another way?" I asked. The echoes stopped. "What other way?" "What if we could stabilize your timeline?" I said. "Make it permanent, so it doesn't collapse." "Is that possible?" the echo asked. Honestly, I didn't know I was making it up, but I needed to stop him. "Dr. Chen has been researching it," I lied. "She has notes, equations, a way to fix the timelines, make all the echoes stable." The echo looked at me suspiciously. "Where are these notes?" "In her office," I said. "At the university?" "We could go there. Right now. Get the notes. Save your timeline." The echo thought about it, then nodded. "Okay," he said. "But if you're lying to me." "I'm not lying," I said, though I was completely lying. I just needed time to think, time to come up with a real plan. "We need to take Dr. Chen to a hospital first," I said. "She's hurt." The echo looked at Dr. Chen. For a moment ago, I saw something in his eyes. Compassion. He was me after all, and I would never leave someone hurt. "Fine," he said, "but I'm coming with you. And if you try anything, I'll destroy the machine." "I understand," I said. I carefully picked up Dr. Chen. She was breathing but still unconscious. The echo followed me out of the laboratory. We took my car, drove to the hospital. During the drive, the echo was quiet, looking out the window. "What's your life like?" I asked him. "In your timeline?" "Lonely," he said. "Confusing. I have memories that don't match reality. I remember things that never happened, or happened differently. It's like living in a dream, a nightmare." "I'm sorry," I said. "I never meant for this to happen." "I know," the echo said, "but intentions don't matter. Actions do. And your actions created me." We arrived at the hospital. I carried Dr. Chen inside. The doctors took her immediately and said she would be okay, just a concussion. The echo and I sat in the waiting room. "Now what?" he asked. "Now we go to the university," I said. "Get Dr. Chen's notes." "And you're really going to help me?" the echo asked. I looked at him, at myself, this broken version of me. "Yes," I said. "I created you. It's my responsibility to help you." The echo nodded. For the first time, he didn't look angry. Just sad, tired, lost. We left the hospital, drove to the university. It was 4 a.m. now. Campus was empty. Dr. Chen had given me her office key weeks ago, just in case. We went to her office. I unlocked the door, turned on the lights. The echo looked around at all the books and papers. "Where are the notes?" he asked. "Give me a minute," I said. I started searching through Dr. Chen's files, looking for anything that might help. Anything about temporal echoes, timeline stability, anything. Then I found something. A folder labeled Echo Project. I opened it. Inside were dozens of pages, equations, diagrams, theories. Dr. Chen had been researching this. She hadn't told me, but she was looking for a solution. I read through the notes quickly, and there, on the last page, I found it, a possible solution. The convergence theory, it said. If all temporal echoes return to the prime timeline simultaneously, they will merge with the original consciousness, becoming one person again. This would stabilize all timelines and prevent collapse. I read it twice to make sure I understood. "What did you find?" the echo asked. I showed him the notes. He read them carefully. "So if all your echoes come back," he said, "we all merge together, become one person." "Yes," I said, "we become whole again. All our experiences, all our memories, combined into one. I would cease to exist," the echo said, "as an individual." "Yes," I admitted, "but you also wouldn't die. You would be part of me, part of us. Your timeline would be saved, because it would merge with this one." The echo was quiet for a long time. "How do we do it?" he finally asked. "We need to find the other echoes," I said. "Bring them all to the time machine and activate a convergence protocol." "How many others are there?" the echo asked. "I don't know," I said. "I traveled 5 times, so potentially 4 more." "That's a lot of yous," the echo said with a sad smile. "Yeah," I agreed. "We need to find them," the echo said, "before they cause more damage, before our timelines collapse completely." "Will you help me?" I asked. The echo looked at me. "You created me by accident," he said. "You didn't mean to cause harm. I've been angry about that. But maybe this is a chance to fix everything. For all of us." He held out his hand. "I'll help you," he said. I shook his hand. It felt strange, shaking hands with myself, but also right. "Thank you," I said. "Don't thank me yet," the echo said. "The other echoes might not be as reasonable as me. Some of them might be dangerous, really dangerous. Then we'll handle them together," I said. The echo nodded. "Together?" he agreed. We left the university. The sun was starting to rise. A new day and a new mission. Find the other echoes, bring them home, and merge them all back together. It wouldn't be easy, but it was the only way to fix my mistake and save everyone, including myself. What a chapter. Alex met his first echo, and instead of fighting, they decided to work together. Now they need to find the other echoes and merge them all back together. But will the other echoes be friendly, or will they be dangerous? What do you think will happen? Leave your predictions in the comments. Let's continue to Chapter 6 for the exciting conclusion. Chapter 6. The Convergence. Over the next 3 days, the Echo and I searched for the others. We called him Echo 1. To avoid confusion, Dr. Chen recovered from her injury. When we told her about the convergence theory, she was surprised. "I wrote those notes years ago," she said. "I never thought they would actually be useful." "Can it work?" I asked. "Theoretically, yes," she said. "But we need all the echoes present. If even one is missing, the convergence will fail." "Then we find them all," I said. "How?" Echo 1 asked. Dr. Chen adjusted her temporal sensors. "These can detect echoes," she said. "They give off a unique signature. We just need to scan the city." We spent 2 days scanning, found 3 more echoes. Echo 2 was working at a construction site. He looked tired and confused. When we explained everything, he agreed to come with us. "I just want this to end," he said. "I want to feel normal again." Echo 3 was harder to find. She was female. Somehow, in her timeline, I had been born a girl. It was strange seeing a female version of myself. But she was just as lost as the others. "I've been hiding," she said, "afraid of what I am. Afraid of disappearing." "You won't disappear," I promised. "You'll become part of something whole." She agreed to come. Echo 4 was the most difficult. We found him at the police station. He had been arrested for breaking into buildings, searching for the time machine. When we posted his bail, he was angry. "Why did you create me?" he demanded. "I never asked to exist." "I never asked for this confusion." "I know," I said, "and I'm trying to fix it." "How?" he asked. We told him about the convergence. He didn't trust us at first, but Echo 1 convinced him. "I was angry too," Echo 1 said. "I wanted revenge. But this is better. This is a real solution." Echo 4 finally agreed. Now we had 4 echoes, but Dr. Chen's sensors showed 1 more. Echo 5. "There's 1 more signature," she said, "but it's strange." "Strange how?" I asked. "It's unstable," she said, "flickering in and out. Like it's barely holding on." "Where is it?" Echo 1 asked. Dr. Chen checked her readings. "It's at the laboratory," she said. "Wait, that's impossible," I said. "We just left there." "The echo is there now," Dr. Chen insisted. We rushed back to the laboratory, ran up the stairs, burst through the door, and there, standing next to the time machine, was Echo 5. But something was wrong, very wrong. Echo 5 looked different from the others. His skin was pale, almost transparent. His eyes were completely black. His movements were jerky, unnatural. "Hello, brothers and sisters," Echo 5 said. His voice echoed strangely, like multiple voices speaking at once. "You're the last one," I said. "We need you for the convergence." Echo 5 laughed. It was a horrible sound. "I know what you're planning," he said, "and I won't allow it." "Why not?" Echo 1 asked. "Because I don't want to merge," Echo 5 said. "I don't want to stop existing. I've found a better solution." "What solution?" Dr. Chen asked nervously. Echo 5 touched the time machine. "This machine created us," he said, "but it can also make us permanent." I've spent weeks studying it, learning its secrets, and I've discovered something wonderful. If I activate it with all of us present, we won't merge. We'll multiply. "What?" I said. "Instead of 5 echoes becoming one," Echo 5 explained, "one will become infinite. Infinite copies of us, spreading across all timelines, all realities, will exist everywhere, forever." "That's insane," Dr. Chen shouted. "That would destroy the timeline completely." "Good," Echo 5 said. "If I can't have a stable existence, no one can." He started pressing buttons on the time machine. The machine hummed to life, louder than I'd ever heard it. "Stop him!" Dr. Chen yelled. Echo 1 ran forward, but Echo 5 pushed him back with impossible strength. Echo 2 and Echo 3 tried to help, but Echo 5 was too strong, too fast. He wasn't normal anymore. He was something else, something dangerous. "Alex, you have to stop him!" Dr. Chen shouted. "How?" I yelled back. "The convergence," she said. "If you initiate it now, it might override his commands." "But he's not willing," I said. "It doesn't matter," Dr. Chen said. "If all 5 echoes are in the same room, the convergence can be forced. It might kill us. Better than destroying all of reality," she shouted. She was right. I ran to the control panel. Echo 5 saw me coming, tried to stop me, but Echo 1 grabbed his leg. Echo 2 grabbed his arm. Echo 3 pushed him back. Echo 4 joined in. All 4 echoes were holding him. "Do it!" Echo 1 shouted. "Do it now!" I reached the panel, found the convergence button Dr. Chen had installed, pressed it. The machine screamed, a high-pitched sound that hurt my ears. Bright white light flooded the room. I felt myself being pulled apart. Every atom in my body separating. I saw my life flashing before my eyes, but not just my life. All the echoes' lives too. Echo 1's lonely years hiding, Echo 2's confusion working construction, Echo 3's fear of not existing, Echo 4's anger at the police station, Echo 5's desperate research, all of our experiences, all of our memories, merging together, becoming one. I felt their pain, their fear, their hope, and they felt mine. We were no longer separate. We were one consciousness, one person, one Alex. The light grew brighter. I heard Dr. Chen screaming my name. Then everything went dark. I woke up on the laboratory floor. My head was pounding. Everything hurt, but I was alive. "Alex?" Dr. Chen's voice. "Are you okay?" I opened my eyes. Dr. Wei Chen was kneeling next to me, looking worried. "Did it work?" I asked. "Look around," she said. I sat up slowly, looked around the laboratory. The echoes were gone. All of them. The time machine was quiet, no longer humming. "They're inside me," I said. And I knew it was true. I could feel them. Echo 1's determination, Echo 2's patience, Echo 3's compassion, Echo 4's strength, even Echo 5's creativity. All of them were part of me now. "How do you feel?" Dr. Chen asked. "Different," I said, "but whole. More complete than I've ever felt. Dr. Chen smiled with relief. The convergence worked, she said. All the timelines have stabilized. No more collapsing, no more echoes. Just you. I stood up, slowly, walked to the time machine. What do we do with it now? I asked. Dr. Chen thought for a moment. That's your decision, she said. It's your grandfather's legacy. Your responsibility. I looked at the machine. This beautiful, terrible invention. It had caused so much pain, so much confusion. But it had also taught me so much about consequences, about responsibility, about the weight of power. I'm going to lock it away, I said, just like my grandfather did. Never use it again. Are you sure? Dr. Chen asked. Yes, I said. I saved some lives with it. But I also created problems I never imagined. The echoes taught me that every action has ripples. Ripples I can't predict or control. Sometimes the best thing to do is nothing. Dr. Chen nodded. Your grandfather would be proud, she said. Together we secured the laboratory, put the time machine in a locked case, set up alarms and protections, made sure no one else would ever find it. What will you do now? Dr. Chen asked. Live my life, I said. The normal way. One day at a time. No shortcuts. No changing the past or seeing the future. Just living. That sounds wise, Dr. Chen said. We left the laboratory together. Locked it behind us. I looked back one last time at the place where everything had changed. Then I walked away, ready for a normal life, ready to move forward, one step at a time. Epilogue. 1 year later. 1 year passed since the convergence. Life returned to normal, or as normal as it could be. I still worked as an engineer, still lived in my apartment, still saw my friends, but I was different inside. I carried the memories of 5 people, 5 versions of myself. It made me more thoughtful, more careful with my decisions, more aware of consequences. Dr. Chen and I stayed friends. We met for coffee once a week, talked about science, about life, about time. She never asked if I missed the time machine. She didn't need to. She knew. She understood what the machine meant and what it cost. 1 year later, the world was still the same. No strange echoes, no broken timelines, no mysterious fires, no whispers in the dark. Time flowed normally again, just like it always had. Sometimes, when I walked through the city, I felt something strange, a moment of déjà vu, a feeling that I had been here before, but deeper, stronger. Like many memories layered together, I would stop, take a breath, and let the feeling pass. Those memories were part of me now, but they no longer controlled me. I controlled them. I learned to live with them. One afternoon, I was walking home from work. The sun was setting. The sky was orange and pink. I passed a small park. Children were playing. Parents were talking. Dogs were running. Then I saw her, Emma. She was taller now, laughing, running with her friends. Her mother was sitting on a bench nearby, smiling, happy. They didn't know me, and that was good. That was how it should be. I kept walking, feeling calm, feeling grateful. That night, I dreamed. Not about time travel, not about machines. I dreamed about choices. Simple choices. Helping someone. Listening. Being patient. Being kind. I woke up smiling. One last visit a few weeks later. Dr. Chen called me. "There's something I want to show you," she said. "Nothing dangerous," she added quickly. "I promise." We met at the old building, the laboratory. It was quiet, dusty, frozen in time. The time machine was still there, locked, silent. "We've been monitoring it," Dr. Chen said. "There's no activity, no anomalies, no temporal signals. It's truly dormant." "That's good," I said. She nodded. "But there's something else." She handed me a small notebook, not my grandfather's, not mine. "This was hidden inside the machine," she said. "We didn't find it before." I opened it. Inside was one sentence, written in my grandfather's handwriting, but steadier, calmer, more peaceful. "Time does not need guardians. People need wisdom." I closed the notebook. My throat felt tight. "He knew," I said quietly. "He knew how this would end." "Yes," Dr. Chen said, "and he trusted you to finish the story." We stood there in silence. Then I locked the laboratory again. For the last time. Final thoughts. Life is full of doors. Some are obvious, some are hidden, some should never be opened, and some open only once. I opened a door that should have stayed closed. I saw the future, changed it, broke it, and fixed it again. But the greatest lesson wasn't about time, it was about responsibility, about understanding that power does not make us better. Choices do. I don't need to travel through time anymore. Every day is already a journey. Every decision shapes the future, not with machines, but with actions, with kindness, with patience, with wisdom. The secret door is still there, locked, waiting, and it will stay that way. Because some stories are meant to be lived, not rewritten. The end.